Hello everyone, welcome to 3ddesignacademy.com. In this lesson, I'll be continuing with part 2 of the organic form Q&A session. Okay, so this is what I had the last time. Of course, the fillet's on, but it's not exactly perfect. As you can see, there's a little bit of break in the highlight. Now it is tangent and it's probably really close to curvature, but the problem is because of the CV distribution, it's not exactly smooth. So I'm going to show you guys how to improve this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of these fillets over here. I might leave this one, but these ones over here I definitely need to delete because I think they have a little bit too many spans. So let's go ahead and untrim over here. And I'm also going to, I think I might have accidentally deleted it, but that's okay. Right, so I'm just going to go ahead and untrim all of these surfaces over here, and I'm just going to manually build the fillets by one by one. So I'm going to start with this one, and I am going to set it to default for now. Okay, so quite a lot of spans. Let's change that to edge align over here. And for this one, let's go ahead and I'm going to see if I can do Bezier, see if it makes it any better. Not really. Okay, so if that's the case, I'm just going to leave it. Let's see. Extend, of course, doesn't really improve it. Maybe I should do edge align. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. So I'm just going to snap a curve over here. I'm just going to stick it somewhere like this. Now I'm not going to spend too much time, but well, this is actually quite a simple surface, so I don't know why it requires so many spans. Now it does go in and out, so maybe that's why. But let's see if doing edge align helps. Now I'm not going to rebuild this one. Let's do edge align over here. Not really. Okay, so if that's the case, I'm just going to leave it. Let's just do default, and that's fine. Okay, so I'm just going to delete the curve over here because I don't really need that, and I don't really need this one either. So I'm just going to delete the construction history over here, and let's go ahead and untrim. Whoops, one too many. So I'm just going to trim that back. And of course I do need a fillet over here as well, so let's go ahead and do that too. So it's edge align over here. I'm just going to do an extend, that's not good. Okay, so I'm just going to do default over here, and I'll probably have to extend this one. You know what, actually, you know what, let's go ahead and untrim this one. I'm going to untrim this one, and I'm going to untrim that one. All right, delete the construction history over here, and I'm just going to trim this away, discard. I'm just going to do a filler over here like this, and let's see. Oh, that gives multi-spans. That's annoying. So I'm just going to do extend, and I'm going to try Bezier. No, that's not good. Okay, so if that's okay, so I'm just going to leave it at default, and that should be good. So now let's go ahead and put a fillet on this one too. So I'm just going to leave it at default for each side. So default, like this. That should be good. And that's all I need. Now Bezier surface does tend to give me a good CV structure, so I'm just going to leave it like that. All right, so the whole purpose of this second demo is to show you guys how to make this a little bit better, because obviously the previous one, there were a little bit issue with the highlight. So I'm just going to simplify things a little bit, and I'm going to show you guys a way that's a little bit cleaner. And the highlight, I'm going to try and improve the highlight. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to extend this one over here like this, because the whole point of this is to clean it up. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to use a ball corner tool. Now, this might not seem like a traditional ball corner setting, but it is. It's just the angles are a little bit opened up. So let's go ahead and grab this. So you can use the ball corner tool or the corner blend tool. Ball corner tool is more ratio based, whereas the corner blend tool is more radius based. Now both are good, but the corner blend tool does, because it's, I don't know if it's because it's a newer tool, it does give a little bit better surfacing and continuity. So I'm just going to try and use this one. Okay, so I'm just going to grab these three surfaces. I'm going to say accept like this. I'm going to grab this fourth edge as the, well, where the fillet's going to go. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. But of course, it doesn't make it. I'm pretty sure it's because the radius is a little bit small. So I'm just going to crank it up to 100 for this one. And it looks like that made it. Of course, with this one, it looks like there's multi-spans, so I'm just going to turn on explicit control, and that looks beautiful. And if you look at the highlight over here, that's actually running really nicely over here. So that's good. So now that's not how it works. Let's just check the continuity. Continue check. Okay, so it looks like it is actually a failing position over here. But at least I got curvature on two sides, and this one looks like it's pretty minor. So I'm pretty happy with the result. All right, that's how it works. Let's go ahead and do the same thing over here. So I'm just going to do a corner blend like this. I'm going to say accept. I'm going to pick the fourth edge, and that looks pretty good. All right, so now it is not curvature over here, and it's not curvature over here, but everything looks pretty good. So now I'm going to see if I can clean this up a little bit. Now, in a situation like this, because the patch is a little bit small, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a little bit difficult, but let's give it a go. But first of all, I don't like how it's quite tight over here, so I'm going to just increase the radius a little bit and see if it improves the CV structure. That actually gets a little bit too close, so maybe I'll just 130. You know what, maybe not. So I'm just going to now, if you want to improve this, one thing you can do is, well, you can probably also angle this in a little bit. I think that should help, so as to make it a little bit, well, that's going to change the angle of this so that it's not as sharp. So, but that really depends on the mesh, and if you're trying to make it super tight to the mesh, maybe that will not be the best idea, but well, it's worth a try. Okay, that's what I'm going to try and see if this will work. So what I'm going to do is, well, first of all, let's turn the mesh off and let's take a look. So if you look at the highlights are a lot better. The CV structure is a lot better, but the continuity is a problem. So I'm going to try and fix that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete the construction history over here. And you know what? Actually, let's make this a little bit smaller. See if that helps. Okay, so I think that's a little bit better. It gives it a little bit of room. Now, the one advantage of using a corner blend like this is because all the CV structures are naturally flowing from this edge to this edge. I am able to use a very small number of CVs, well, single span surface for these. And well, the highlight's good too as a result. So let's see if I can get a little bit better result on this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and put this one over here like this, and I'm just going to try and patch this with a square. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't, well, I'll have to find a different way. Okay, looking at this, it's not looking great, but I'm just going to set it to curvature over here. I might have to, well, let's see. So let's grab this one over here, and I'm going to see if I can actually do a trim convert on this one. Oh, that's no good. Okay. So if that's the case, first of all, I'm just going to, I might have to fix this. Okay, so instead of having like this, I might just not exactly go the way it is right now. So let me just copy and paste this over here like that. And let's try this. So first of all, oh, actually, did I? Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm just going to delete the construction history over here. But I think the corner blend tool over here works pretty well. It's curvature here, curvature here. Well, it's not curvature over here, but I think that should be, well, actually, I don't know if it's going to be a simple fix, but let's give it a try. So let's just, I'm going to set the sensitivity to 5000. Of course, it's going to be NUV. It's turning 1.0. Yeah, so I'm going to assume that this is probably not going to work. Yeah, just fluctuating all over the place, but I can try align. Position influence set to max. Nope. Vector. Not really. I don't think it's really working. It's 1.0 over here, so I'm going to just leave it alone. And well, that is what it is. Okay, so this area on the other hand looks like it doesn't really work, because if you look at the CV structure over here, it's actually crossing over. So that's a no-no. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can just fix this one over here by just, well, making it a little bit shorter. Actually, you know what? It is curvature over here, but it's not curvature over here. So, well, let's give this a shot. So I'm going to grab this one over here. I'm just going to untrim this one. I'm just going to delete the COS over here. And I'm just going to strike a curve from here to here. So basically, I want to keep this. I want to keep the. When you're trying to do this, you want to keep the angle as close to curvature as possible. But because of the patch layout, I'm just going to see if I can do a little bit of manipulation over here. So I'm trying to increase the real estate, but I do want to keep the angle as close as possible. Okay, so that is going to give me a little bit of, well, it's close, but at least the patch is a little bit bigger. So, well, let's see how this one works. So I'm just going to try a trim convert over here. Okay, so the patch looks pretty good. I'm going to actually put this in a new layer over here because I do need that. And let's give this a shot. Actually, you know what? I should have done the same thing over here as well. So let's try to match it. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. I'm going to try that again. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and maybe, yeah, angle it something like this, maybe a little bit less. And I'm just going to project both of these from view using an orthographic, because orthographic view is going to give you almost a perfect angle. It's going to give you a perfect angle, whereas if you turn to perspective, as you can see, it's a little bit off. So it's a little bit better control. All right, so now let's go ahead and give this, I'm going to trim convert this one over here, and I'm going to trim convert this one over here. Looks like it doesn't work, but that's probably because there's a fifth edge. So all you have to do is you just got to extend the edge a little bit, and that should work. So let's see if it does. So trim convert. Oh, I gotta actually click on the tool like this, and there it is. All right, so now I'm just going to hide this one over here. And I'm going to delete the construction and history on this one. And let's go ahead and hide this one also. All right, so it is not going to be edge aligned, but at least I can align it and make sure that it's curvature. So that's curvature there. And I'm going to make sure it's curvature there. It should be. And now let's give this a shot. So I'm going to go ahead and, okay, so it's position over here, position over here. So I'm going to align this one. Oh, actually, technically I'm supposed to align this one to this one. Now, but because of the patch size, I'm going to see if I can just align it over here. Okay, so I got curvature there, but it is failing position over here. So let's try to get curvature here. And I'm going to try and get curvature over here. Continue is a little bit off. So, well, let's see. I'm just going to try and align over here. That's curvature is a little bit off. I'm going to see if I can get continue over here. So I got at least tangency. I was able to retain curvature over here, but I'm not sure if it's going to be curvature over here. Now, I'm not going to force myself to do it because, well, getting a curvature in this kind of situation is very tricky. But let's at least try to get it a little bit closer. So first of all, I'm just going to delete the construction history on this one. And I'm just going to do an UV over here. You know what? I think I might be able to get it. So let's crank it up all the way to 500,000. Let's see if I can get it a little bit closer. Looks like it's just bouncing up and down. That doesn't really give me confidence in being able to get a curvature. Okay, so if that's the case, so let's see if I can adjust this one. Yeah, it's all bouncing up and down, so I'm just going to leave it. Okay, so I got that one corrected. Maybe I'll at least get this one to be curvature over here. And these ones, I think I'm just going to leave it because I don't know if it's going to be possible to get it unless I increase the degree or spans. But that is one way to get the desired continuity over here. Now, that said, why is this one short? Because it's probably because of the align. So let's grab this one and I'm going to say partial over here. That should work. And let's see. Yeah, it's still, well, it's at least it's tangent. It's not perfect. But before I go, I'm going to see if I can just give it a one more shot. So I'm just going to delete the construction history over here. And I'm just going to do a square over here like this. And let's see. So I'm just going to do a curvature on all sides. I'm going to turn explicit control. It's going to be 5 and 5. And I'm going to do a collinear. Now, when you're doing collinear here, I'm just going to do it on 1 and 3. That's it. The other side, I can't really do a collinear because, well, the CV structure isn't exactly flowing with the surface over here. So looking at this, let's go ahead and check. Okay, so I got curvature here on this side, but I don't have curvature on this one. So let's try that. Let me say vector. Looks like vector is a little better position for the set to max. Normal. Well, I guess you do have to pick and choose which one works better. Okay, so I got curvature on this side and this side, but I don't really have curvature on the other ones. So this one, well, becomes a little bit tricky. So let's give this, oh, okay, so that, I think, let's crank it down to 5,000 and see if I can get curvature. Nope. This one, nope. Well, maybe I can get a little bit closer over here. Okay, so it looks like that's actually failing tangency. So I can at least get it a little bit closer over here. And maybe I can play with the tangent row. Well, I think I can get it a little bit closer. So let's grab this one. Okay, so it's starting to fail over here. Okay, I got that. And this one over here, let's just tip it just a little bit. It's starting to fail on all sides. Okay, so I got that one. And let me see if I can get this one. Okay, so I got curvature on 3 sides. This one, I don't think I'm going to be able to get it. As you can see, it's just flowing back and forth between 1.0. So, you know what? I'll say that's good enough, and let's just move on. All right. But I think that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and delete the construction history over here. Now, too many spans. I can clean that up, but I don't think I'm just going to leave it. And let's just go ahead and turn the symmetry on. And I'm just going to put the surface over here. And that is much better flowing highlight over there. So pretty happy with that. All right, so that's how to put a fillet over an organic form. Thank you guys for watching and see you next time. Want to learn more? Then become a member at 3ddesignacademy.com, where you will find hundreds of video tutorials ranging from basics, including card creations, intermediate level tutorials such as this wheel, all the way to Class A modeling of the interior car exterior. Interested? Visit 3ddesignacademy.com.